The Australian homeopaths and the homeopaths from New Zealand were part of this, all these makings of these remedies. And it is only like 1 year ago I realized how synchronicity has taken place and how these remedies were made in a message from the universe. The universe starts to talk to you, and you start to be in resonation, and you start to feel the connections, and then we are asked to be healers. You also, Eugene.
All of us.
And it's already organized that who is coming to you, who needs the remedies, and it's already in the resonation. So the best thing to learn as a homeopath, to be in that flow, to be in that receiving flow.
You said umbilical cord was a difficult remedy to understand. What about that was difficult?
We had kind of...
Today, we hang out with our return guest, Alize Timmerman from the Netherlands. You'll also find Alize on episodes 137 and 260, so do hop on there to learn more about her. Alize has done a lot of work with the maternal remedies, which I'm sure many of you know and love already. And Alize has now put together all these remedies in a kit, as well as compiling a course. So to learn about these, as well as her books, membership, and so much more, visit humanum.institute.nl. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Homeopathy Hangout podcast, where we discuss all things homeopathy from around the world. And now our mum and your host, Eugenie Kruger.
Hello, homies, and welcome back to a very special episode today that we have with the lovely Alize Timmerman, all the way from the Netherlands. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Eugene. I asked you to make a podcast because I wanted me to be heard again in this, Australian, New Zealand, side of the world. And that has a different time, of course, time change. And you know why? The Australian homeopaths and the homeopaths from New Zealand were part of this, all these makings of these remedies. And it is only like 1 year ago I realized how synchronicity has taken place and how these remedies were made in a message from the universe. And I brought them all together, and then I saw it was one circle. And Rachel from New York, who was part of a lot of these triturations and provings, she started to talk about the circle of love. And she started to talk about the gifts of the mother. She started to use these beautiful words. And the circle of love contains that already in 1988, we started to do DNA. And then Jürgen Becker came to the Netherlands, and he already in Germany did triturations. And he came to give a seminar, and I already knew that Jürgen was working in a whole different way with dreaming on the remedies, with doing all these special things with the substances. And he said to me, can we please do a proving or trituration of mother's milk? And honestly to say, I never knew where I was ended up to. We were there with 60, 70 homeopaths, and we started to do this beautiful trituration with the milk sugar, with the mortar and pestle. And he kind of opened that whole field in the Netherlands. Nobody did that before.
I did not know that. Were you part of that first proving of humanum? Oh, that's amazing. And 60, 70 homeopaths part of the trituration. That is huge.
Yeah. And we didn't know what was,
Wow, that's mind-blowing just from the point of so many of us have used that remedy in clinic, and I haven't actually thought to kind of read back and go where it originated. So that is really amazing. I did know that. I think Tinus Smits, because he's also Dutch, and he wrote about maternum, though, not humanum. Was that the same group of homeopaths, or was that different?
I think we were quite some time earlier also than he. Yeah. And he never do triturations.
Oh, wow.
And he did like maternum, which is also wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But like maternum was of 7 mothers, and that's why he called it like maternum. I think was splendid idea of him also. But we did also from I don't know how many mothers, like a lot of mothers.
Is that like
And
humanum? I always thought that was just one mother.
no,
Really? I did
did
not
of
know that. I've always been taught that lac humanum is one mother and lac maternum are several. Like, obviously, I think it was about 8 or 9, and it was
but
from.
we talk of course about ours, eh?
Yeah,
We talk
no,
of
I just
ours.
didn't know. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. And then that experience was one big development of consciousness, you see? And it opened up, complete kind of new field of homeopathy. And I was already in 1998, I think, I was starting to teach in a big conference in London where 600 people came. And then I was, kind of asked to teach in New Zealand, to teach in New York, to teach in San Francisco, all this starting to go. But then I saw that nobody did really good provings. So in every place I came, I started to do triturations. And I want to tell you really from my heart, there are hundreds of people, hundreds of homeopaths. I counted around 200 different homeopaths who helped me to do all these triturations. And
Amazing. Actually, just for our
so,
listeners who are just listening on the audio, so Alize is holding up this beautiful kit at the moment, and there's a bunch of remedies in there as well.
yeah, so we started with mother's milk. And mother's milk, when you do the first iterations, you are more in the physical field. And then you come in the emotional field, and then you come what we call in homeopathy the delusional field, meaning the more the mental, and then we come in the collective fields. And then you come in the bigger collective fields, like we call the universe. And then, it becomes deeper and deeper. So Lacumanum makes you connected to your deeper self, but it also makes you see the history of yourself, your history, your biography. You start thinking about things which you have forgotten, which has happened to you. You can call it traumatic things, but I would like to call it more, things which just, is part of your path of growing. Yeah. And it's opening up how you were with your mother, how you were as a baby. And, it starts to come to this realization. But many people don't know that Lacumanum connects you also to the earth and to the sources. And you see to where the roots of you are, like a tree, the roots. So we developed already in 92 all this knowledge about that. And you see, I never really got time to write it out very well. So I wrote it now out in my new book.
Ooh, is it out yet?
Yeah, we rewrote the whole Lacumanum.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and you see, I like very much that people know this deep knowledge about it.
Can you hold the book up again? Just because obviously it's mostly audio, but we do have the video on YouTube and on Rumble. Empowerment with the Gifts of the Mother. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. Can you have a quick little flick through the book as well? I've started doing that these days, and people have said that they found it really helpful when they can, on the video, just see like a bit of a layout of the book. And amazing.
It is only 2 months ago that I wrote this poem. It came from my heart, and it's about all these remedies. Yeah.
That's so special.
Look at the podcast. I can also read it. And here you see all the remedies which we did.
Oh, amazing. Can you read some of them out to us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the book is about the Lacumanum and about the placenta, about amniotic fluid, the water for the fruit, I call it, And the placenta I call the mother cookie.
I love that.
Yeah. And then it's about the umbilical cord. And umbilical cord is, you cut your umbilical, and the essence of umbilical cord is to cut your relationship and to break free. And it has this, in the trituration, there came this word knife and cut.
Mm.
So that is umbilical cord, very, very difficult remedy to understand. Anyway, it's oxytocin. You see, we were also the first one who did that remedy. All these remedies were the first. It's all in the 90s that we did that.
Wow.
Then
With oxytocin, is that like, how did you capture that?
Yeah, I got it from a lab from
Oh, wow.
Germany. Yeah. And we had this connection to this group in Germany, and we did honestly quite secret things. And we found these substances to them. And they were, what happened? I had a kind of guide, and the guide said to me, "We telling you all these things, but you are going to spread it.
Mhm.
And we don't reveal our name.
Okay.
You are the one, you're gonna do it." So they came all the time with ideas and things.
Oh, wow.
They said, "You are the one who has
You're giving me goosebumps. That's so
spread
cool.
it." Yeah. Because they were part of my lectures. And I said, "Why are you coming here all the time?" They said, "You do what we think. So you do what we think." So do you see how much help I got?
Mm.
When connecting to these substances, the universe starts to talk to you. And you
Mm.
start to be in resonation, and you start to feel the connections. And then we are asked to be healers. You also, Eugene.
All of us.
And it's already organized that who is coming to you, who needs the remedies, and it's already in the resonation. So the best thing to learn as a homeopath, to be in that flow.
Yes.
To
Yes.
be in that receiving flow. Anyway, I had this guidance from Jürgen Begger, from Leen van der Kaai, from Witold Iller, and they said, "You spread it. You are the one who spread it."
Amazing. Amazing.
So
I was going to, sorry, can I jump in there as well? You said umbilical cord was a difficult remedy to understand. What about that was difficult?
we had a kind of psychosis. Some people went out, really bit scary, and then came this desire to cut with knife in the dreams. And we did a lot double blind. People didn't know what they were triturating.
Oh,
You see.
wow.
Yeah, we did it really officially, we did it really very. And there came, and later on, I had also again this wonderful support. There was a psychiatrist, part of our provings, and she was treating girls who were coming together
Like
and cutting.
self-harming. Mm.
And she, they were doing the cutting to feel something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut, and then you feel something. So these girls are unfeeling, in fact. They are in the state of anacardium a lot, unfeeling, and coming together to feel some community. And, she had these patients of girls who were cutting, and she started to use the remedy with
Wow.
great result.
Wow. And she was an actual clinical psychologist? Because that's
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. Oh, I just wish more of them used homeopathy. Especially, I mean, for all ages, but especially for young, young children. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
So you do these triturations and provings, then you know a little bit of these remedies by this work, even when you do it with a lot of people. But then when you start to use the remedy, then you start deeper understand it. It adds a lot of, So umbilical cord, I lately gave it to a mother and a daughter who are completely cut off from each other. And the daughter doesn't want anything to do with her mother, like completely cut off. And you see it in children who were very connected to the mother. And then something happens, You see? And somewhere something has gone over all their boundaries and they cut off their feelings. They move away from the family, don't want anything to do with, and then that's the umbilical cord. That's why I say it's very, very difficult.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel it's extremely painful to go to this very extreme energies, you see? That's the umbilical cord. Yeah.
Wow. Have you got any other remedies in there? Were there some more?
Yeah. I said already oxytocin and then Vernix.
I love Vernix. I use it a lot. So I often find I haven't given it too often over 200C. I don't know, Vernix 200C seems to just work for most of my clients. And so many of them put 2 pills in their water bottle and they will sip on it. Like children who go to school that get overwhelmed by all the sounds. I have loads of clients who are psychic or kinesiologists or body workers or people who work a lot in other people's energy fields. And they will put Vernix in their water bottle and they'll drink it like before and after clients to just protect their own energy. And some of them use it long term, 200C. I don't know that I've gone up too much. I don't know. I'd love to hear if other homeopaths have found this, but like Vernix 200C has been like a magic bullet in my clinic.
Yes. So in the book, we did the Vernix trituration in Norway.
Oh, wow.
And it's written out beautiful. It's like what we say, these levels, C1, C2, C3, C4, and that gives you insight in which potency to use. And that depends on till which round you have triturated. That's a bit in the book, and so you can read that. But anyway, in the Vernix, you do C200, you do that, and we do the C30. Triturated to the C4.
Oh, okay.
That's quite similar than you. And we never went, but anyway, we don't go much higher. So that's complete in synchronicity with you.
Oh, that's really interesting feedback to get. I find that with some remedies, it's more rare, but like some of them, I just find there's certain potency that remedy just seems to work really well in that particular potency. Not like a little handful, but that's just been, my experience. But, we all have our own little clinical experiences, but also it depends a lot, I think, on where your demographic is and the type of people that you see.
In England, they did the placenta trituration proving. And they felt in England that when they were potentizing to the C40, then they started to feel the energy of the remedy. That was in Helios. You know Helios.
Yes. They triturated to C40. So we're talking like 40 hours of trituration. No. Is that what you say?
No. They triturate only, I think, 3 rounds.
Oh,
and then you potentize to C4.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they felt, wow, then the energy comes out. So it's true what you feel, that some remedies are working on in that level of potencies and some more there.
I've often thought that I wish that we did a better job as homeopaths of naming each remedy, say Vernix C330C, like C3-30C, so that when you're purchasing a remedy that you know what it has been triturated up to. I know Rita is really good with that. When I get remedies from her, it tells you what it's been triturated up to, because energetically there's been such huge shifts on the planet. And I do wonder if some of our remedies that were previously only triturated to a C3, if it's not time that we take those remedies and we triturate them like a little bit higher. And, certainly with Andreas Tilch's strep Tilch remedy, that C5 trituration did make a big difference. And I wonder if we shouldn't do that with more of our remedies.
Yeah, we all did that in our life with Rita also. Rita's part of this, eh?
Oh, great.
Yeah, so all we wrote that down till how far we have triturated.
Beautiful.
And how far we potentized.
Oh, beautiful.
And when it's difficult, when you don't, this is quite a difficult area already, you can just go on my website and listen to I have one recording about potencies there.
Oh,
and
great.
About today's. So everybody can just go in and listen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's just, you can just find it. And because these are questions which always come again and again and again. But the humanum, the German group, has potentized till 7,780.
Interesting.
By hand. Eh?
Wow, not machine.
And they triturated in Germany till the C6, and that is a very interesting picture which is needed and which is coming out.
Oh, I would love to get hold of that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so we did, anyway, shall we say, so in the book, I want to say this first.
Yes.
In the Vernix,
Mhm.
we did estradiol, folliculinum, estradiol, we did that over again because it's very unclear what they have used in the laboratories, and it's a remedy related to the anticonception pill and related, to the estrogen, and it's a very important remedy. So we did it whole over again in New York and in San Francisco. And that's also why I wanted to speak with you on the podcast. We did menstrual blood. And that menstrual blood is mind blowing. That's a very deep remedy. And they did that in New Zealand. And we did that in the Netherlands. So we did two. And it took us 13 years to write it out.
Wow. Do you think that was part of the remedy picture in some way?
People didn't want to write it out. I asked a student, so she got her PhD on it, her titles on it. And she all the time got migraines when she started to go with that. And many, many people, when they started go into the menstrual blood again, they got a feeling of being dirty and feeling disgust. And they said, Alice, we don't do it. So it really took so long time. And every time we went into it, we got, and anyway, now it's written out. It's beautifully. It's really beautiful.
Well, that's a good heads up because I've just started triturating my own menstrual blood because I was thinking I'm probably going to go through perimenopause and in the next, few years. So maybe I should, while I still can, do that because I was actually thinking my daughter's going to start getting a period in the next few years. And it would be great, like a beautiful ceremony to be doing with her to teach her how to triturate her own menstrual blood. And then that's when I thought, oh, actually, hang on, I might not have that much more chance. I should do it as well. So I've only done the C1 so far, and I've got the mortar and pestle with the milk sugar in a Ziploc baggie in the space next to some crystals for when I can do the next. But it's probably going to take me like a little while to triturate. Hopefully not 13 years, but probably take me a little while to work through it all.
It only says a lot about so deep things, ancestral things are coming out. And, and also there were also men part of our trituration.
Right.
Well, anyway, but it's one of the deepest acting remedies ever. And it's just so thankful for New Zealand who did that in the whole seminar. 4 days, we did there. Lila Joffe, you know her?
Yes. She was the president. I don't know if she's still the president. So funny story about that because she actually is now, from what I heard, renting the room that I used to rent. So that's in Silverdale. So when I left to come to Australia, shortly after that, she rented the same room that I did. So there's like all these funny little connections. Yeah, pretty amazing.
With Glennis, Glennis?
I know Glennis's name. I don't know if we ever met in New Zealand, but yeah.
They really rented a special place, and there we did the trituration. And we did also there a trituration of Rimu, which is about a tree, and it's amazing. Oh, I would love to do a podcast about the trees with you also.
Oh, absolutely. We should absolutely do that.
But with the menstruation blood, I want to say to you, it took a lot of courage for them to do it, And we did it with 5, 6 different bloods already. And
amazing.
It's amazing. It's so deep. And that's, honestly, I want to spread that because it's important. And what came out with the menstruation was a lot about circumcision and misuse of circumcision of girls, of young girls, came in the dreams, and the pain from that and the denial from that. And and I gave a presentation just short about menstruation blood, and they called me up from Kenya, and the woman who is organizing committees to stop circumcision and to work with that in Africa, she called me up. She says, I want to be so thankful for you. You are the first one who talks about this. And she felt so relieved that it came in the open. And anyway, she did an interview with me with this remedy a bit, and she started to use it. Oh my God.
Amazing. How lucky are we to do this job? It's just so cool. I
Yes,
was actually
I was so thankful.
Mm.
Can you believe it? There are thousands of women.
It's crazy to think. I have often thought that how beautiful would it be to do homeopathic trituration of our menstrual blood together in groups like all around the world as kind of like an initiation ceremony for like young girls. I think these days there's certainly a few here in Perth where, if your daughter's about to get a period, the mums get together and they have these ceremonies. But it would be amazing to have that, like do triturations in a ceremonial style together as well. So I don't know. I'll put it out there, and whoever of our listeners listen and want to take that up,
Yeah,
go
and
for it.
the German homeopaths, the colleagues from there, they opened up this field and they did a titration of the menstruation blood in 1990 already.
Oh, wow.
And they started to show on television how to do this with like you do, how to do this and all that.
Even in 1990? That is so cool.
Yeah. This knowledge of trituration is for thousands and thousands and thousands of years known because they found the graves with the mortar and pestles in the graves. In Egypt, triturations were already done. They find it in the graves and they did this already. This is how they made herbs and how they got their knowledge already in ancient time. Yeah.
Oh, so
So we
interesting.
continue that roots, we continue that knowledge from ancient time.
Have you gone through all the remedies in your book? I just don't want to miss any of them.
Exactly. I put in some supported triturations. When we did the trituration of Sepia, it opened up so much inside of me because in Sepia, there's written in the repertory feeling dark before menses or feeling negative before the menstruation. And in our trituration with Sepia, we went from the light into the darkness, and there we started to connect with our deeper self. And you need to go in the darkness completely alone to come to a transformation. And that's in the Sepia. So it explains the trituration process, that you go from dis-ease to transformation, to that you need to go in the darkness before you can come in the light. And that's in Sepia. So that's why I added this remedy. And then I did a very beautiful article about all the carbos. And the carbos is the fuel which is not seen, the unseen vital force. So I added that. And then I added another carbo, and that's the diamond. And that connects you also to your deepest self and roots. And then I added Butlaya, a remedy for huge traumas. And especially traumas at birth. And that relates very much to humanum, to amniotic fluid, to placenta, to umbilical cord, to that's an additional complementary remedy in the birth processes. And that's why I added this one.
Well, actually, I have to, you and I had already chatted for about half an hour before we started recording. So I've just kind of realized that we've just kind of started the recording and didn't even give our listeners a bit of an intro. But Alize has been on the podcast before on episode 137, but also your episode that you did for Network to Heal Summit on Butlaya. We've got a replay of that on the podcast. So if people go to episode 260 of the podcast, they can listen to you speak on Butlaya.
I forgot about it.
No, I forgot about it. It wasn't until I scrolled through the episodes that I'm like, oh, that's right. I've got that one as well. Yeah, Butlaya is beautiful. I absolutely love using that. I really like using it in a triad as well. So like a 10M with syphilinum, thymus gland, and Butlaya. Find that quite gentle and beautiful. So I want to know where we can get hold of these remedies that you have triturated. Because I'm just trying to think of, I've got all those remedies in my dispensary, but I'm not sure what they've been triturated up to or where they've come from. But, I would really like to use the ones that you've made.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Such a cute pouch.
Yeah, I made this map, and honestly, by only making the little map, I really got 10 years more in my life. It really feels like it made me so young, so, to connect to my being by just doing it, So I want everyone,
Yeah.
do that. I did these remedies, triturated and potentization with these 200 people, huh? It's
Wow.
not I, it's
Mm.
okay. The lacumanum in 770 80, the lacumanum is female, and then we divided them in male and female. The lacumanum, which is made from a breast for a boy, is different than the lacumanum made for a girl. So we made a differentiation.
So you're
And we
saying
did
like the milk that the mother produces is different if it's a boy, if it's a girl. So amazing.
hormonal
Yeah.
difference.
Wow.
So we did that, all these potencies. I put 7 different potencies and all the time use the potencies which we are sure of, which has action. That's not rational. It's based on experience. Yeah. And then we did oxytocin only in one potency. You see, we know that potency is the one. And then amniotic fluid in 2 potencies, umbilical cord in 3 potencies. It's a huge remedy. It's a, I told you already, very huge remedy. And then placenta in 3 potencies, Vernix only 1 potency, the one which is similar to the C244. Budlaya only low potency, and then we did Ma follicles. That means the folliculinum with the estradiol in LM potencies, because that's a remedy which you need to repeat every day.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then estradiol, that's the first creative hormone to become pregnant. Estradiol is very important substance. And then we did menstruation blood only in the C40, triturated to the C7. And Eugene says now that she wants to share this, that all the mothers and daughters are needing to go in these triturations together. That's why we did the menstruation blood to the C7, because the circle in the menstruation blood to triturate it together is extremely helping, growing, developing the young. So what she says completely is in synchronicity to what we have found in our triturations. So I'm so happy when that would be done in the whole world, you know?
We
Yeah.
can hold that
That
vision. Hey,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, that vision is so beautiful. And then I remade carcinosinum
Well, how many
in
tumors did you use? What everyone's going to ask.
over 30.
Over 30. Wow.
So I did my linear carcinosinum, and then I added, because we had such an amazing results with Laclupi for breast cancer. That's Laclupi, so we added that one. And the elephant we added because, we did the elephant. And then we did the lioness, meaning the milk of the lion, and segment is whole. And then we added 3 nosodes, the sorinum, which is very important to use in this triturations processes, medurinum and cephalinum, and the DNA. That's what's all in here. So I did the course for Matthias, and suddenly it came to me that I had to do it like this. It was like,
I could download.
and so I did this map, and we only sell it as this map.
Beautiful. I love that. And can we get it directly through your website?
Yeah, then I will do that on my website. And yeah. So it's really an offer from the heart. It's really like that.
Mm.
And
That is
again,
incredible.
Eugene, thank you for all these people who've been part of it.
It's beautiful you acknowledge all of them, because that really is so important. There's so much work that goes into these triturations. It's just unbelievable. Hey? And the writing.
25 years.
Wow. What a labor of love, but also at the same time, what a gift that for eternity, people can use these remedies. They've been created now, and they're here for humanity to use and to serve in that manner, which is, that's a gift. That's a gift to be able to do that, but also receive that. Amazing.
Yeah. Enrich your life, and also enrich your life after life. It's the ancestral energy which comes free, and you start to connect to your life before you arrived and after. It's these potencies which will show you that the soul never ends. Yeah.
Well, not only have you done all this amazing work for homeopathy, I always say that, or I always think like if you've been a really good person, you get to be blessed with grandchildren, because I think that would be the ultimate gift. And you say you've got 11 grandchildren. That is such a blessing. I'm sure they keep you on your toes. So just as well, you're 10 years younger now with all the remedies.
Yeah, and they help me with the remedies. They help me with, all of it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Now,
even photographs when they help me and all that.
oh, it's amazing.
The crazy grandmother, okay?
That's a label that my son calls me hippie mummy. So he's like, hello, my hippie mummy.
You should say the wild grandmother. Okay, the grandmother is a very old word.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people in patriarchy, we talked already a bit about it, they have changed that word in stepmother. But in ancient word is when you took care of someone else's children, then you were a grandmother. And that's what it really means. You see, grandmother means you have this, and it limited only to your blood.
Oh,
and I feel a bit also a grandmother a bit in homeopathy. I have so many daughters and come with their children to me and I'm there,
The grandmother.
Yeah.
So just a quick question. If somebody wants to learn more about these remedies a bit more in depth, have you got any courses where people can learn about this?
First of all, I want to love to do a series with you, of course. My heart really tells me that. And secondly, I did already in-depth course about all these remedies with Matthias Berner Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 weeks, I think 16th of July, a course start about this with homeopathy in practice in England from Atik and Nola together.
Amazing.
In practice, and we will add.
Will people be getting a record? Like, can you do a recording of this, or do you know if it will be available for purchase afterwards? Do you know
What
if
is your...
there's... I know, I'm just wondering, when the course is running, is it only going to be then, like in 2 weeks' time in July? Or can people purchase a recording of the lectures?
They can get the recordings after.
Oh, good.
And the website is really beautiful.
Okay, and that's the Homeopathy in Practice one?
Yeah, and that's especially about all the remedies related to the humanum and
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And also Matthias Badner, who's a mutual friend of ours.
They have done the course already, but you can find everything beautifully also in English there. And I tell you, thousands and thousands of people have followed that course. It has been a complete spreading from the Academy in such a beautiful way.
Matthias is good like that. Yeah, he's got a very white edge.
So many,
Yeah, him and his wife are beautiful people as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. We'll pop that in the show notes as well, but just there's a beautiful photo of you at the front holding your kit. But
honestly, I put a lot of articles about this on my website.
Okay, amazing.
So you can go to the articles and read about amniotic fluid.
I see. You've got an article here, Budleia.
On the website.
Amazing.
You need to buy the remedies, but you don't need to. You can study from the website.
Oh, you've got articles and videos as well. Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to be doing after this. Alize, we'll have to do this again sometime and have another chat. But is there any final words that you want to leave our listeners with?
I want you to feel the circle of love of homeopathic. And the circle of love is DNA, humanum, amniotic fluid, placenta, Vernix. That's a circle of love which is in our body. Our body contains the love in oxytocin. And there is the love for everyone. And it's in ourselves, in our bodies. And in the potentized form, we give it to our patients. That's what I hope you all can feel from my presentation.
Absolutely. I think you've given us like a little transmission just listening to you all over the world. And I know you said when we started for Australia and New Zealand, but actually most of our listeners are in America. 40% of our listeners are in America, 20% in Australia and 20% in the UK. And then there's all all these other beautiful places scattered around the world. But this will be going right around the whole world, and I know it will be touching lots of people's lives. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming in today and sharing this. It was lovely to connect with you again. I couldn't believe that other episode we did was like in 2022. It feels like a lifetime ago now. But we won't leave it so long before we do the next one, okay?
No, you really feel as my sister, and sharing the same things. And so for me, it's so wonderful to do this for all of you.
Oh, thank you so much, Alize. And we'll chat very soon.